Hey everybody, Spencer here with the Counseling Guild. Are you in a relationship? Are you looking to be in a relationship? Well, this video's got some insights for you. This is inspired from the Gottman method, which is a couples counseling approach based on extensive research from John Gottman on how stable relationships work and how unstable relationships fail. And it focuses on a core triad of interactive behavior, the perception among the couple, and their physiology or arousal levels. The core principles of a stable relationship are that they exhibit more positivity than negativity in both their interactive behavior and their perception. And so what that really means is that the majority of interactions between the couple is going to be in the positive light, and it's going to be viewed or perceived in the positive light. And so oftentimes couples get into this weird funk where one party is trying to do positive behaviors, but the other party is perceiving it in a negative light, thus making it null and void. And so stable relationships derive a sense of calm and well-being rather than vigilance or activation. And so what this means is, in a general sense, the relationship brings in a net positive of calm, peace, and well-being rather than stress and fight or flight and, arousal in the negative sense. And the Gottman's counseling aims to rebalance the behavior, perception, and physiology to establish a stable relationship and regain their ability to repair problems. The theory behind this combines elements of behavioral, cognitive, existential, psychodynamic, and narrative therapies, all within a systemic framework. The core idea of this is the sound relationship house, which I will put up on the screen. And it's a model used to describe the relationship dynamics and areas of improvement. Some of the key concepts from the Gottman method that we can use in our own life is this idea of sentiment override. And that is the general state of the relationship, which can really be positive or negative. And a way I like to think of that is like good faith or bad faith. It's like, can you address problems in a good faith, or are you guys constantly getting into arguments under this bad lens, this negative lens of bad faith? And so that's the sentiment override. Through rituals and increasing the awareness of each other's attempts at emotional connection, you can start to change that sentiment. Another common, very popular concept from Gottman is the four horsemen of the apocalypse. And these are criticism, defensiveness, contempt, and stonewalling. And from his research, these four behaviors are particularly damaging to a relationship, and they highly predict relationship failure. There's this idea of emotional disengagement or turning away from your partner or withdrawing as opposed to turning in or leaning in, especially during conflict or stress. And through, again, developing rituals together, learning each other's love maps, their love languages, developing a sense of appreciation and admiration, there's ways to re-engage with your partner. There's this idea of perpetual problems, which is, common vicious cycles that occur within your relationship. The idea here is to examine the cycle itself. It's like, what is going on here? Is one partner attempting a bid at emotional connection, then the other partner is rejecting it, or they're misperceiving it as something else, and so clarifying those lines of communication can help solve those perpetual problems. And then the final concept in Gottman's, which is important, I think, is the diffusing the physiological arousal. The body's alarm mechanism during perceived danger or stress hinders our ability to solve problems or think creatively or cooperatively. And so this is very common that I see in my practice is that couples try to engage in arguments, or they try to solve a problem or to process something when they're both just super activated. Their nervous system is tuned way up, and so they can't even really think in a rational way. Part of that means with you and your partner, you've got to learn to, number one, identify your physiological states and be smart about when to engage and when self-soothing needs to happen, or when you need to help soothe your partner, depending on the situation. Some practical tips for couples here is to work to increase the general positivity, the general positive sentiment of your relationship. It's like, understand, is your behaviors and your perceptions, are they, number one, are they being fair, and are you actively working to cultivate a positive overall sentiment through your behaviors, your perceptions? Next is, I think, arguably maybe the most important, is eliminate the four horsemen. And it's like, we all can check ourselves, is like being aware of our tendency to criticize or to get defensive or contemptuous or stonewalling, like trying to uproot these, learning different skills, different behaviors to get your needs met without going down the route of the four horsemen. The final takeaway from the Gottman method that I think is important is, it's important to have a sense of admiration and friendship, and to be able to create a shared higher meaning with you and your partner. Strengthening your friendship and your intimacy by turning towards each other and creating rituals and learning the emotional connections that are happening within the relationship is such a good way to bolster against the inevitable stress and conflict that are gonna happen in relationships. Those are some relationship tips and ideas inspired by the Gottman's method. I hope you guys found this video helpful. Please like and subscribe for more videos.